Hi there. In this video, we're going to walk through how to complete the Developing a Content Marketing Strategy worksheet. So if you visit the campus, then come to the Worksheets tab. You'll find it here. Just click on the download button. It'll open a new tab. And then from here, you'll be able to choose to download the PDF and complete it in Adobe Acrobat, or you can print it and fill it out by hand. All right. So, in terms of developing a content strategy, the first thing that you're going to want to do is, well, the initial part of it. So, determining what your content marketing goals are. So, if you want to start producing content, say videos or blog posts, even really social media content, what are the goals that you're trying to achieve? Do you want to get more brand awareness? Do you want to create more sales? Is it to be able to educate your audience because maybe it's a difficult product or service to understand, or maybe people don't really get the benefit? So you really want to take a look at what your goals are, and then look at developing a consistent publishing strategy. So how often are you going to be producing content? And then, so this often is where people have big lofty goals and they put too much expectations on how much content they're going to produce, and then they end up not doing any of it because they just feel overwhelmed by not meeting those goals. So it's okay to say that you're only going to do one blog post a month or one blog post a quarter, right? Just understanding like what your team's capacity is and how much content you can really put out. And so then you're going to want to kind of look at developing kind of what your ecosystem is. If content typically is at the top of a funnel, and so you're using that content to drive people to your site and to be able to start pushing them down your sales funnel. But it's not enough just to have this content created. You want to be able to way to capture leads and to nurture them. So when creating an ecosystem, it's looking about, okay, well, what type of content can we create that's going to be high quality that you can do in exchange for an email opt-in. So you'll want to create that offer. Typically, you'll have a landing page that you click to for any type of content that you have, and then building an email onboarding sequence. So when they read this content and they see what your offer is in terms of a lead magnet, once they opt in for that, what emails are they going to receive once they've signed up? And then what is this initial conversion opportunity? So if they sign up, is it your product or service that they're going to jump onto next? Or is there something that's a low dollar offer that you can offer to them, which is sometimes referred to as a tripwire, that will move them down the funnel and get them more comfortable with you? And then from there, you would look at creating another follow-up sequence that would lead them to your core offer, and this would lead to another conversion opportunity. So once you have that out, then it's really about mapping the type of content that you need. So when you're looking at your content marketing goals, you also need to understand who your target audience is. And when you're writing content or building content, you want to build it in a way that's going to speak to them. Content is not about your product or service being understood. It's about content is about your audience feeling understood. So it's really important to make that distinction. So assess their perspectives, their capabilities, and really assess the profit potential in each of your chosen markets or with each of your target audience. All right. So when it comes to the next stage, it's all about making the right offers. So tailor offers based around that target audience, and then develop your offer from there. So if you're writing content about a specific product and you know that you have a specific target audience or buyer persona that's going to need that product, then you can start building offers that you know are going to speak to them and be more compelling. All right. So next step is creating your content. So the first thing you have to do is really develop a channel plan. Where are you going to be sharing this content out? If it's YouTube, well, obviously you need to have videos. You can't really use blog posts. If it's for Instagram, well, then you're looking at images and videos. So depending on where your target audience is, will really dictate the type of content that you need to be able to create in order to be able to have your content. All right, so next is all about understanding the 5 pillars of content creation. And this is really important because you don't want to overcomplicate something. You want to make it as simple as possible. So the simplicity of the content is important. Is it really easy for people to be able to understand? It's really important to specify your audience and be laser focused on who it is that you're speaking to. Embrace serendipity. You know, what is that after that they're looking for? And how can you embrace that and explain that to them? And then in terms of the next stage is all about mastering discipline. I believe that I get more done if I put that type of work into my calendar so nobody else can book me at that time. It's really important to be disciplined when it comes to content creation. And then also be willing to delegate when needed. If there's people on your team that can do it, Richard Linder from Digital Marketers once said, if you have someone on your team that can do it 80% as good as you, then you need to delegate it. All right. So once you go there, you can start looking at creating like reoccurring content. And that we really touch base a lot in building your topic wheel. So I won't dive too much into it, but there is content that can be evergreen that just goes out reoccurring quite often. And then again, choose front-end content theme. So determine common questions your customer asks. Think about topics that you have to continually explain. Determine what you want to be known for. Figure out what your customers want from you and determine a unique sales proposition. And when you look at those things, you'll find that you come up with some really good content ideas. All right. So from there, you create your content. So there'll be the high level content in terms of social posts, blog posts, but then as we were saying, there's that whole ecosystem, that whole sales system that you'll want to do. So this section is all about kind of building that. So if you're looking to get their email or encourage them to create an account on your site, those are a couple different ways to build your opt-in offer. Build the onboarding sequence, so that's the welcome email series that should educate, engage, and indoctrinate them into your company values. Next, you'll want to make a sales offer and then also follow up with the prospects. So once you kind of have that and you go through these different stages, you'll find that you have a really solid content marketing strategy. And as long as you're honest with how much you and your team can produce, then work with what you can do. It's better to start small than not to start at all. If you have any questions as you're filling this out, feel free to drop a line in the Facebook group, or if you want to submit a question to be answered during the Ask Me Anything Coffee Club, you can do that as well when you go to your member profile. Yes, thanks.